So this trick, I actually have a version, there's a Christmas version that I was going to do, but I'm not really prepared to do it. I've submitted it for the Penn and Teller show. But this is the most classic version, and when I laid the cards down, somebody said the cups. And the irony is that that's actually a closer guess. Who said that, by the way?
did.
That was right. So that guess is actually really close because it's the same premise. Three things mixed around, guessing games, gambling, those kind of deals. And so this is basically a trick, which, by the way, you can get in a kid's magic set. Every kid's magic set has a set of plastic cups. There'll be a red one, a blue one, and a yellow one. And they don't really tell you how cool the trick is. Somebody brought one into work the other day, and I took the cups and I did the little kiddie version that I did in the 3rd grade, and they were smoked. They were like, "What? Whoa, that's in a kid's set?" Well, you got to know the secret. Well, so this is the cups and balls. It goes back literally at least 5,000 years.
Oh shit! So sorry.
That's all good. It's all good. This is not the show. So this trick has been seen on Egyptian hieroglyphics in the Valley of the Kings, at Beni Hassan in the tomb of King Bach. It's been the planetary drawings of Om. They're on those. There's a Seneca wrote about it in 37 AD. There's a lot of history about this, but it's basically a trick that has multiple genres, gambling as well as magic trick. And so I'll spare you the gambling portion, but the gambling portion looked like this. The P was placed under the cups, and then people would try to guess where its location is. Like I said, I'm going to spare you that because the magic trick is where we're going. So I want to actually get a rather maybe unsurprising second ball. So we're kind of like ramping up to a thing here. By the way, that wand spin took me a while.
Yeah,
that spin's kind of cool. It makes the ball appear. It also makes it disappear and makes it reappear where I sort of need it to reappear like this, by the way. That's one of those. Oh, yeah, this spin allows the third ball to show up on the cup by itself.
Oh, Jesus.
You see that?
We're going to put money on the table?
Sorry. Yeah, I got a retainer in that I had to learn to speak with, so I recently have, I'm having dental work done, and they gave me a retainer, and it just almost went loose there. I had to learn to speak with it. I had to cancel a show at Riverfront Playhouse because of this thing.
Riverfront, I actually played it.
I had a show for November 18 there, and I had to drop it.
What was her name that ran it? Oh, my God.
Linda Alvey's the one I'm talking to now. So.
Well, that was years ago.
Yeah, that was decades ago.
Yeah, not sure.
So cool.
So nonetheless, this is where you have the classic structure of this. Ball goes under each cup, and then and by the way, my hand gets to be contorted for reasons I don't need to explain. Here's the deal, though, is that the two on the outside actually wind up in this.
Oh, wow.
That's the oldest phase. Now I do work events that involve people holding cups, and. But the thing is at beer and wine festivals, but the contents of their cups over time begin to degrade their ability to appreciate what's happening on the table. So I have to get rid of a cup and go down to 2 things. Otherwise, the only person that's impressed is the designated driver at this point. So it's like, and really for the guy that's like really weaving back and forth, I'll go, "Hold on, guy, I got one for you," and I'll go like this. I'll cover one here, and I'll snap my fingers and claim they switch places, and that guy.
That's impressive. What can I say?
That's how it works. That's how it works. Although when I got the designated driver's watching me like a hawk, so I have to explain how that one got over there and this one shouldn't have been there as well. By the way, there's no holes in the cups, although people, for a second, I got you. For a second. It's not really fair. The idea is, wait a second, that shouldn't have happened either. All 3 of them are now over here. So, and this trick proceeded like that for probably thousands of years. Until the 1970s, when a Canadian magician named Guy Vernon appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. By the way, Johnny Carson could perform this trick, but he always acted like he knew nothing about it. By the way, I want to talk about those late night jerks for a minute. Johnny, the only person that probably treats magicians with respect as a late night person now is probably Jimmy Fallon. David Letterman was a douche. Jay Leno was a douche. They bring them on and then they deliberately put them on the spot, because you can really put a magician in a bad spot if you deliberately are throwing sticks in their spokes. And those guys all did it, but Johnny was a magician and always acted like he wasn't. And it was great because he's on there with Vernon, and he asked Vernon, who was an old man at the time already, he says, "Can you explain how the trick is done?" Well, Vernon went into an explanation. He said, well, I don't know if I should be giving things away on national television, but he says, if I take and I put the balls away like this, and I'm not lying about their position, how many's under the middle cup? He says, 1. He then asks the audience, he goes, by a show of hands, and I'll ask you, who would like to know how that got back up there? Would you like to know?
Yeah.
There's a technical term for how this is accomplished. Cheating, that's the term. It's not that technical. What happens is I've spent a lot of time alone. What I mean here is that ball really looks like it went there because I've spent so much time doing this. Now, this isn't the only way you can do it. You can pretend to just put it there casually, it works, but you can also toss it hand to hand like this. And that last toss looks as legitimate as the others, but it's not. The point is I need you to believe it's here. And I need you to believe it's here so all that concentration is there and you don't see me insinuated under the cup like that. If I really put it away, though, I can't palm 3 of those, and that part should Now here's the deal, though. That is the deal. But it was then again, it was brought forward again later in the 1970s with Vernon as well, when he was challenged by another late night host when he says, can you do something cooler? He goes, yeah, what if I put these away in my pocket? Would it be cool if I could make them appear under the cups? And everyone thought that would be cool. And he says, there's no room because this stuff is under the
Jesus,
wow.
now.
That is my favorite trick. By the way, they asked a magician, if you could be left on a deserted island with one trick, what would it be?
Yes. Yes.
By the way, I know this one goes over so big, but it's at the castle. Yeah, it's so classic. It's almost cliche for them.
Right.
My Christmas version, and I couldn't really do here for a couple of reasons. It involves livestock. And
Okay.
Oh,